Today is Monday, June 4th, and I'm your host, Paula Hersey. On today's show, we learn more about some new initiatives, housing, and summer classes at Cape Cod Community College, and discover the history of Bismore Park. A look at today's weather. Don't forget the rain slicker and umbrella today. Rain with isolated thunderstorms this morning, then showers with areas of drizzle this afternoon. Patchy fog, some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall this morning. Highs only in the mid-50s, east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 35. Chance of rain near 100%. Tonight, cloudy, patchy fog, a chance of showers with areas of drizzle in the evening. Near steady temperatures in the low 50s. Let's start with some news you can use this morning. The Town of Barnstable, Department of Public Works and Planning and Development invite the community to a listening session on proposed roadway, streetscape, and intersection improvements in Hyannis's East End. The meeting will be held at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, June 14th at the Barnstable Town Hall, 367 Main Street, Hyannis. Refreshments will be provided. The meeting is to provide interested individuals an opportunity to share their thoughts about roadway, streetscape, and intersection design in the following areas. Hyannis Main Street from Center Street to the Yarmouth Town Line, including the intersections of Main and Center Street and Main and St. Louis Street and Lewis Bay. Old Colony Boulevard between Main Street and South Street. The intersection of South Street, Old Colony, and Ocean Street. The Roadway and Streetscape Improvement Project aims to improve the mobility of all roadway users, including pedestrians, improve access to the area, support existing businesses and new economic growth, and enhance the appearance of the area. Cape and Island residents should see a drop in electric bills beginning this summer. Eversource has filed a proposed electricity supply rate with the Department of Public Utilities for residential customers, which is nearly 12% lower than its current rate. The proposed rate is 11.397 cents per kilowatt hour. The Cape Light Compact's Green Aggregation Power Supply Program residential rates have also dropped 17% down to 10.6 cents per kilowatt hour. The 6-month rates take effect for June meter readings for Cape Light Compact customers and July 1st for Eversource. Michael Gross, Cape Cod Community College's Director of College Communications, joined us in studio to talk about aviation, funeral services, and summer school. It's almost time for summer school. Cape Cod Community College has an opportunity for anyone to take courses over the summer. With me today, Michael Gross, who this will probably be your last media appearance, perhaps, hey?
It may be.
Congratulations
That's true.
on your retirement.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much.
So you have come in to talk to us today a little bit about summer enrollment, but first let's get some housekeeping done. Aviation Maintenance Tech Program at Bridgewater State, housing options.
A great new opportunity. We know full well that this is a very intense program. It's 15 solid months of almost no vacations. They don't take the typical break that schools do in any of the holidays because there is such intensity of instruction, and the FAA's requirement of time on task is very, very high. So you can certainly drive there, and our students have. We have great students who've graduated. However, if you were able to have a place to live 40 minutes away, how much easier would it be? And we're not talking someone who lives in Braintree. We're talking someone who lives in Harwich or wherever. So we've been very lucky. Bridgewater State College has offered our students an opportunity to live in a residence hall that's specifically for them and for students who are taking courses throughout the entire year. That dorm won't close in the middle of the Christmas break or whatever. So the students will have a solid housing option. And then literally 40 minutes down the road, they're in our program at the Plymouth Regional Airport. So it's very, very good for them. We're just getting it rolling. We will enroll the students in the fall semester, starting in September, in the new aviation maintenance program, and they can choose to live on the campus They have all the amenities that any campus resident does. They can eat in the residence hall cafes if they want. They have access to the gym. It's really an amazing opportunity for our students.
That's fantastic. And then there's new programs. The whole, I guess, I'm not quite sure of the word of Mount Ida, the demise of that particular institution. It's been a little bit cannibalized, so there's programs going to different institutions as well. But Cape Cod Community College has picked up one of the more interesting ones, I think.
We really have, and we're right now searching for a director and a faculty member. So another faculty, I believe, from there will come to us. We're very interested in bringing funeral service to this area, to the college. It's a small program, very much like our AMT program, so that it fits in kind of the boutique programs that we're developing. At the same time, the demand for individuals to go into funeral services, to go into that is amazing. There's so many people retiring out. There are so many jobs available. And what we're hoping is going to happen, and we're in the process of working with the Department of Education to do it, is to transfer their accreditation to us, transfer the program. We will bring it down and open it more likely a bit like aviation, probably up in that Plymouth area, so that it can be regionally available to people even more than being on this side of the bridge. And we're hoping, we're looking very, very hard at fall. We think this is another opportunity for something people never thought of. A student is very interested in running their own business, literally runs a funeral home and a funeral service. We have a number around here who will intern our students, give them great opportunities. And so, yeah, we're very, very interested in doing it. Mount Ida is an unfortunate reality of kind of the shrinking of higher education overall. It has to do with numbers of students, birth rates, a whole lot of stuff. But the bottom line is, here's an opportunity where we can help their students finish their programs, but offer something down here that's never been here before.
Right. I think we had a conversation with Dr. Cox actually a couple of weeks ago, and he was really, really excited about, again, when we look at our region, we have to bring programs to our region that make sense. So, you know, some of the other programs that are out there in other colleges don't make sense here on Cape Cod or in the region.
It's true, and I think it does have to do with the numbers of students, where they're located, where their interests are, where the jobs are. I was surprised to learn how many different funeral homes and companies there are within 30 miles of Hyannis, and they're all really needing qualified, trained people. Talking to a dear friend who runs a home in Mashpee, 1 out of 10 applicants he looks at maybe is qualified. It's very difficult to get really good help, and the pay is very good. So this is something, again, a business student interested in running their own program, someone interested in social services. There is as much a sociology aspect of this business than we think of. I think it's a wonderful mix and something not available before.
Excellent. So, summer school. I didn't have to go. Didn't even actually come close to summer school.
I took accounting, I did, actually.
But the college provides services for summer school that I don't think a lot of our residents actually understand. So give us an indication of who those summer school students are.
You know, it really is. When I talk to people about summer school, they sort of remember the Cape back in the late 70s, early 80s, when you had thousands and thousands of college students coming down and living in various houses, working in all kinds of restaurants, and they took courses from us, no question about it. Those students don't exist anymore for a number of reasons. Number one, the cost of housing has gone dramatically higher. Just the total number of college students has shrunk. And when we look at who now comes to Cape Cod Community College for a course in the summer, it's very interesting that more of it is more close to home. We do have a number of students who are in the Cape Cod Baseball League. They do come to us. They need to bring their college credits back to wherever they've come from. So literally, the wonderful thing about 4C's credits is that they do transfer all over the country without an issue. The academic quality of our faculty and what we teach is highly regarded. So that's a good piece. But the student who comes to us today, is more likely to be, one, a high school student. Many people don't think about the fact that now with dual enrollments, with various plans to go from community college into either the publics or the privates, you can literally take that summer course for us for $600 or so, and you are then going to transfer it right into somewhere, and you've just saved 3 or 4 times that amount, and you've got credits leg up on when you start your semester. The other person that comes to us very often is a local student who went to high school here, moved here, lives here in the off season, if you will, in the summer, and they're going to college at a 4-year school, could be across the country, could be Bridgewater State. But the deal is they need to work, but they also need to go to school. And we found, and as a matter of fact, I was talking to one of our English faculty who found that almost 30% of her course this summer, the first group of courses, over 30% were filled by students who had not been with us before. They were coming in to pick up that credit and take it to wherever they're going. One of the reasons I want to talk a bit about it is we'll start again July 9th. We now break summer up into 2 pieces because students seem to want to take things intensively, quickly, get it over with, so that they can continue working in the workplace. So our next whole group of courses begin on the 9th of July, and there's a whole series of them from math, all the traditional things you might think about, all the way through to art classes, economics, and whatever. So that I really encourage the public to literally look at our website, capecod.edu, and then just /summer, and you can see what's there. The opportunity to get a leg up, to fill up your transcript, to save a lot of money, right, before you go off to wherever you're going to go, and we're happy to help. We're a pathway to where you need to go, is very, very crucial. But now really is the time to start looking.
Right. Well, it's funny, you know, June 1st is tomorrow, and then July 9th is you know, literally
Very
just a
quick.
month away. The last thing I kind of want to just touch on a little bit
Sure.
is that you've got some really unique summer programs for kids, for STEM. I thought that this year's exploratory programs were brilliant.
Really interesting. We, for some time, have run what we call Summer of Science. It runs out of our wonderful program that does workforce education and training and teaches all sorts of things. And I have to admit, I agree with you. I didn't have any idea that a 6th, 7th, or an 8th grader could really look at exploring what it would like to be an EMT. And we're going to offer that program beginning July 23rd. One of the things we're trying to do is to show young people early on that STEM is not a bad word. Science isn't hard. Technology, engineering, mathematics, math can be fun. When you're taking it from Professor Azonoff, Eric Azonoff is hilarious. I love him. The kids love him. He gets them engaged in the process. We've got advanced AMT, we've got individuals designing. It's all sorts of things that young people, basically grades 6, 7, 8, and some 9, get involved in prior to them really beginning to think about that school decision. Right. It's an excellent way. These run every week. They're taught by very, very qualified staff, so that it's something they can become involved in. Something that is new this summer is that if you're already a college student with us and you're interested in STEM, we're going to offer you free summer math courses, free STEM courses to get you ready to come in the fall, and we'll even offer you $500 to do it. Because we know there is this anxiety over math. We know there's an anxiety over science. It must be too hard. Nobody can do that stuff, which is wrong. But again, we want to offer the incentive. There are 15 slots that open up July 9 for our summer, what we call bridge into the new semester. Right. And I totally encourage any college student who is enrolled with us for the fall in any kind of a STEM program to explore that. So that summer can be for 6, 7, 8, 9, right straight starting in school, or for those of you who need to take some credits, now's the time to look.
Thanks so much, Michael. This was probably your last hurrah here. I'm honored that you got to sit with me. The programs at Four Seas and the adjacent areas, like I said, you know, the airport piece of it, the aviation, and then the funeral services. There's an enormous amount of work that has happened in the behind the scenes, and you can leave feeling very, very proud. The school is in great shape, and having you as the last guest here was fantastic.
Well, I appreciate it very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. How did Bismore Park in Hyannis get its name? Liz Hartsgrove, Consumer Affairs Supervisor, digs into the history of Ralph Bismore and shares his story with us. We have a history lesson for our viewers today. Do you know about Ralph Bismore and Bismore Park? With me today, Liz Hartsgrove, Consumer Affairs. You're going to tell us all about this. This is amazing.
No, I'm so excited about this. It's so wonderful. And like you said, it's about our history as a town and why things are named, why places are named after people, and we're going to learn about that.
Okay, so Ralph Bismore Memorial Park. Yep. We have some photos that are on loan from the family. How generous of them to entrust you with these just amazing photos. We actually looked through some of the stuff before the interview. So let's back up a little bit. Yeah. Tell us how and why you've come onto this project.
Sure. So in collaboration actually with the Arts and Cultural Coordinator, who's doing a research project about actual town hall and the murals that are on the elevators, we started then diving into Bismore Park because she and I, Melissa Hirsch and I, are very involved with Bismore Park through parking and the arts and cultural, the shanties, artist shanties and stuff. So we work very well and very closely together on things like this. So, and we didn't know anything of Ralph Bismore and why Bismore Park was named after this gentleman. And so one of my gateway greeters began researching the project for me and was able to, through assistance with actually people who do genealogy at libraries, with the town of Dennis, actually assisted us in trying to locate family members still here on the Cape. And they were, again, just very generous in giving us a lot of information about him.
So you found a niece in Harwich?
That's correct, yeah, and a bunch of family. They were welcoming the gateway greeter. It was very interesting because they were welcoming my welcomer and just gave us a treasure trove of information and photographs and letters and all sorts of wonderful things.
So who was Ralph Bismore?
Ralph Bismore, he actually graduated from Barnstable High in 1931, and he was an aspiring pharmacist. He worked at the pharmacy located on the corner of Main Street and Barnstable Road / Ocean Street in that corner. So he was wanting to be a pharmacist. So before he joined the war in 1943, and he lived right actually where the new 3 artist shanties are. There were 3 houses there, and him and his wife lived in one of the houses there. So he was able to walk to work, and so it's that's really cool stuff. Yeah.
So he went into the war. We understand that he was a gunner in the Air Force.
Yes.
So was overseas and survived 2 battles?
2 enormous battles. He participated in D-Day and survived, and also the Battle of the Bulge, which is incredible. And then he passed away in March of 1945. His plane had some malfunctions, and he perished in that crash. So
now you've got this history, and we have an amazing account of his life here. We have a postcard from Paris for Christmas.
Yes.
We have letters to his mom.
Yeah, I know. It's just incredible. So we're going to actually use all of this information and the history that we've learned through research projects, and we're going to create a permanent like museum type of informational with the photographs and stuff, so people can learn about who this gentleman was and how he participated in our community, and he was a graduate of our high school and things like that, so so people can learn about it when they come to visit Bismore Park.
So that's an ongoing project.
Yes.
It's going to take some time
Yes,
to get
it
these
is.
scanned in and to go through some of the information.
Yeah.
What's something that struck you right off the bat about this gentleman? I mean, he was young,
Yeah.
you know, a community member here. There's just so much history. What struck you so far about some of the things that you've seen and read about him?
Well, I heard that he was a comedian. He was very funny, and so that was something that you can see even in some of the photographs. His humor really comes out, and I think that is what's so inspiring and so moving when you do something like this, is that you learn about this person's personality and it's not lost, and nobody knew about it, and so you get to actually know and feel and see part of his life, and I think that's just incredible. Yeah.
Well, I think residents will really look forward to getting this project up off the ground,
Yeah.
and getting that walkway up from the sea with
Yes.
some history to his houses at the shanties, which I think is just an enormous kind of like juxtaposition of.
It's very odd that we have 3 shanties on where 3 houses were, and we didn't even know it until after this research project. So yes, it's one of those, it's just meant to be type of connections that is just all falling into place, and it's so lovely to see it. And our history as and our legacy, our heritage of our community, it's really important that we don't forget about this.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us, Liz.
Thank you.
Ginny Bismore, Ralph Bismore's adored sister was in the park named for him recently, and we had a chance to talk to her about her brother and the park.
Teeth were like, like some animals' teeth, and so they called him Jerry Muskrat. And then they gradually dropped it to just Jerry. Every time I reached for something on my plate to eat, it was gone. He had taken it. And I'd say, I just had a piece of bread and butter here. Where'd it go? Oh. But then I'd look on his plate. There it was. But he was a good jokester. He wasn't nasty. He was just fun. He always, when he was coming home from work at night, he was always whistling. If it was raining or snowing or what, he'd whistle. He had no hat on. He was whistling along. And his hair was dripping red. He would. All I can say is I was so glad he was my brother. He worked in a drugstore. In fact, he got his diploma to get to. And then about the time he got his diploma for it to be a degree, to get his degree, he had to go. He knew he was going to go in the service, so he enlisted. And it wasn't too long after that before he was killed. But he, as I say, he said to me, the day I saw him the last time we got together, he said, this is the best time of my life. And he said, I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. And now he had 6 more years. But that's the way it goes. And he had a lot of love for his country, too. And whenever a plane went to the airport, when it was just a dirt road, like, he'd run up there and see who it was. If it was somebody he knew famous, he'd be glad to greet them and all that. And if they weren't famous, he'd help try to work and get famous. He was full of aircraft. But it's just so too bad that a plane had to be what took his life. But God has the planes, we don't. And when we got back, and I got the mail, and it was one saying that he had died, and I just dissolved into tears. And this girl took me up to her and said, Jerry, she needs you down here. So he came down, and I was brokenhearted. So of course she couldn't say it to Jerry because he wasn't there, but anyhow, he was there usually when we wanted him. And he was there when his wife needed him too. I do remember that it changed from Ocean Park, but I didn't know exactly how close the connection was. But I was very, very proud when it became Bismore Park. My brother's name is Bismore Park. My brother's name is Bismore, and it's named after my brother, and he was killed in World War II. And I'm very, 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 very proud of him. And not only for being that name, but just because who he was.
Here is a look at this week's boards, commissions, and committee meetings held at Town Hall in various areas around the town. I'm Paula Hersey, and thank you for watching Barnstable Today.